Hey Dan, so here we are doing a little mini series that we love doing, and we're talking about when awareness changes everything. And it's kind of interesting because as we are a coach and we're looking through our coach lens in our coaching life, it does change how we look at things in our everyday life, especially when we've been trained through the ICF and the core competencies. I feel like well, I'll just speak for myself. I've become more and more aware of things. And so you're helping me kind of break down this series today, and you've been such a great sport. You're completely surprised. By the way, everybody, Dan is surprised. I completely have surprised him. Like right now, he doesn't even know what topic I'm about to talk about. Um, so today I'm going to talk about something that happens very frequently and very often, and I find it very annoying. But yet, people of all ages, of all genders, of all different financial status and success, they do this. They do this one thing, and it is over explaining your choices. So, somebody decides they're going to change their plans. They're going to not just tell me, hey, I need to change from Tuesday to Friday. I have to hear an entire email or a really long text as to why they're going to change it. It's like there has to be this justification for the change. And I don't do that. I mean, maybe I did that when I was younger, and then I realized I don't need to be telling people why I'm choosing to do something differently. But then I started noticing as I became more aware, it still is really popular. I mean, I see people doing it all over. And I guess my question for you, Dan, is what do you notice people explaining that nobody asked about?
Just about any question I ever ask in so many cases. Um, what do you want to do? And turns into at and strangely enough, I'm the one who's guilty of it most. Um, and it's one of those learned behaviors. Like my wife will ask me something, and rather than just saying yes or no, I'll give a reason. And she's very blunt about it most of the time. I didn't ask you why. I just needed to know. And my response back is, I'm giving you all the information because I know your next question is going to be why. So I'm just shortcutting it and giving you the chance.
Do you think that there is I mean, I do feel like sometimes when say somebody says, "Hey, I can't do dinner tonight. I've got to do it tomorrow because I have to do A, B, C, D, E, F," or it becomes this whole like all of a sudden there's so much drama around the change when all you had to do was say, "Hey, can we do Saturday instead of Friday?" And do you think that there's like it's almost like they're justifying the the change because they're going to get pushback? It's almost as if people, I don't know, but I feel like what I see, it's like, why do you feel like you have to justify it? Is because you think you're going to have to defend it?
That was where my gut was going with it. That particularly something around a dinner. Someone's going out of their way, whether it's to go to a restaurant or to make a dinner, and the plan changes at maybe the last minute for the other party. That yeah, there's going to be some resistance rather than just acceptance of, oh, more for me. It'll be, it's like we have to escalate our reason why so that the person on the other side doesn't feel as put out because our reason is bigger than their disappointment.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's kind of what I'm sitting with in this moment.
Yeah, yeah. And it's almost like it's okay to share, but there's a difference in sharing or justifying or doing what you're doing, where I've got to justify this to be so big so that but one thing I want to say is, when people say no or they change their plans, it isn't a disappointment to the person. It's the disappointment to the dinner place. Like it really isn't about the person. And so I think maybe that's also, like you said, part of it. Somebody's like, "Oh, I'm going to be disappointing you." And it's like, it's not a disappointment to me. That doesn't happen today. But even in the workplace, I remember working in the workplace and we would have to change work meetings. And again, it was like, well, we'll tell them that I'm out, that I don't feel good. Tell them I had to leave early to go get my sick child. I'm like, why do they need to know any of that? Like, let's just move the meeting till tomorrow. Nobody needs to know that information. Don't feel like you have to share it. So, anyway, that is something I see all over the place. It's definitely something that I, uh, I understand, but I definitely am noticing more that it's happening.
And I wonder right in this moment if part of that sense of need to justify and explain also might come from another place of empathetic human connection, of if they responded, if they gave that message to me, how would I feel? So I want to come into it and say, oh yeah, this other stuff is happening, so that at least there's a connection back. I understand you're going to be upset, and I haven't said that, but I'm going to instead say, here's this other thing that's happening that ultimately is more important to me. And if we look at it really black and white, it's like, this is more important to me right now than the plans we had for dinner. But if I say it that way, it sounds like I'm taking this shit on somebody's back. Like, this doesn't matter to me over here. So we might start doing the justification to at least kind of meet somebody in the perceived disappointment that we think we're creating.
Yeah, and that takes me to, we did a video on assumptions. I think sometimes over explaining is trying to answer these imagined responses that you're assuming. And we
Yep.
know if you watch that video, your assumptions are just a false interpretation of reality because they don't really exist. And so I do think, yes, it's what you're saying too, but it's also we over explain because we are already thinking what we think they're gonna say or we think what they're going to reply. So we're trying to get ahead of that. I say don't have the assumption. And especially in work related things, I mean, it's one thing if you're close, but I would say even if you're close, you have more power. I think we gain more power and control when we just say, hey, I can't do tonight. Can we do this other night? Or can we do this without giving all the other information? It really, I think sometimes we have to think about what is that really going to do for us? Because that person doesn't probably want to, I don't know, do you really want to read all that? Like, does it really matter? Does it change really what you think? Yeah.
Now, I would just wish half the time that people complied to their own HIPAA statements and not divulge anything that wasn't necessary or confidential.
Yeah, it's yeah, so explaining kind of trying to get ahead of that judgment or trying to find that assumption and figure out that answer. So we always love to leave for this series a question to the audience in the comments, and we will read every comment and hopefully reply. We try to reply. I think we do reply.
We do.
Do you have any good questions? You've got some good questions. Do you have anything that comes up you'd love to challenge the audience with?
It's not there.
All right. So I'm going to throw one out off the top of my head. We'll see. I don't know, but how often do you justify the plans that you change? And are you guilty of leaving these long-winded explanations? Let us know.
Yeah, that covers it well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let us know in the chat. We'd love to hear.
All right. See ya.
See ya.